Hello and welcome to Survival Trainers. My name is Shadab and this is our G+5 project for which we have carried out the analysis and design and detailing for. You can come and check out the beam detailing and everything that we have done here. If you're interested in learning the entirety of it, like how to do the footing part and everything with ETABS and safe results, we have got a training on this. Okay, at Autocad G+5, you can come and check out the training. The link is in the description. If you want to learn the execution part of it, a separate training is available for it. A combo of those two is also available. More details for it in the description. But in this class, our main focus is going to be on what? It is going to be on the staircase region, how to draw the staircase region and everything, how to mark the, I think here the line weight is turned down, so you're not able to see the lines properly. But I'll explain how to do the entirety of this part. Along with that, there are site videos available in the very end of the class, right? So please stick around, watch it till the end, and you'll understand how the structural detailing of the staircase can be done. Okay, once again, this is part of our training, that is our AutoCAD G+5 training. So this is basically like a demo video for you. If you like my teaching, you can consider becoming a part of this course, and you can apply the coupon code here. It's gonna cost you like 500 if you apply the coupon code. Okay, same thing for coupon for the combo also. It's gonna be much more cheaper. The decision is up to you, right? With that being said, coming back to the topic at hand, we will start with the staircase detailing in this class. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to AutoCAD Training classes. My name is Shadab. In today's class, we'll be going towards the section 10. That is the section for our staircases, right? So very quickly, we'll just go there. And yeah, okay. So you can see section 10 is staircase, and this is one of the smallest section that we have in SP34. So let me just zoom in. So they have given you a few introduction points that you have to keep in mind. And when you come up, they have given the nomenclature over here. Basically, what is the floor level, and a row of chairs, and what is the LD, what should be the LD length, then reinforcement if required from bending moment consideration, okay, landing part, then slab thickness, reinforcement as per design, whatever is there, they have just given all this information over here. And then the image below that, they have told us about the riser and thread. Okay, so what is a riser? Riser is a vertical portion of your step, and thread is the portion where you place your foot. Alright, so this is a riser and this is thread part. Okay, again we have given the LD distance and everything. Generally we don't follow LD as such, we just give 1/3 of the distance of the span of the whatever the staircase we have, right? Just 1/3 we'll take, and whatever is the distance we just give it there. Okay, so please keep that in mind. And this we have over here main steel, and then we have distribution steel. So main steel is going to be the bottom and distribution is going to come on top where the mid size. So they have given X over here, and this X is what they have exploded out the image, and they have shown you that image over here. Okay, so in this zone, the main reinforcement is going to be at the bottom, and the distribution reinforcement is going to be at the top. So like this, they have given a few things. So even here, see grader of LD or 3L. Generally, 3L is going to be the grader in most of the cases. So just follow with the 3L. This 1/3 distance they just come. If they have the length of the entire flight of the staircase, 1/3 distance they'll come and they'll just take it. Okay, so they have clearly shown if we generally don't have footings for the staircase, right? We just have a plinth beam. So from the plinth beam, what basically happens, we have a staircase going up, it comes to the mid landing part, and from the mid landing part we have one more staircase that goes on top. Yeah, here this staircase just comes over here and just ends over here. So this is one entire staircase representation that they have shown. I'll show you how to draw this entire staircase and how to get the reinforcement for one part. Whatever that one part is done, you just have to mirror it to the top. Okay, your work will be done. All right, just the last portion you have to change it a little bit. Except for that, everything else will remain the same. Okay, so you can see here again, if you don't have a plinth beam, if you have proper landings, for the landings part you can see how they have given the reinforcement over here. So not much detail as such, just refer it once to get a better understanding of how the work is carried out. Okay, how the detailing is to be shown. All right, so this image is very important, the very first image that we had seen, right? This image is quite important, because whatever is shown in here we have to show it in the drawing as well. Okay, with that being said, now before we start with the staircase detailing part, I'll take you to the paint once, and we'll have a discussion on the uh, about the staircase tension zones. Okay, so for example, if this is my landing, if I just can turn it to black, this is one landing of mine, and then we have our let me just draw a staircase flight like this, and followed by this, what do we have? We have another landing over here. Okay, if we had a plinth, we'll just directly give a plinth beam over here and just complete terminate the slab. Okay, so we have this over here. Now what I want to do is, I want to give the waist slab distance also. So waist slab will be almost 6 inches on the bottom side. So just come over here, almost 6 inches from here. You're supposed to draw your waist slab as close to the real line as possible. We'll just draw it, and then we have a slab that goes in this direction. Okay, and then we have a slab that goes in this direction. All right. Now, when we talk about the tension zones, where will the tension come? So if we just change the color and we just take this. So in the flight part, if I can just draw a straight line, we can just draw a line like this. The tension will be in the mid zone. Why is that? That is because we have, just a second, let me just redraw that. Just redraw this over here. So tension is going to be in this zone because a lot of the steps that is going to be that we have support over here, we have support over here. Okay, generally we have a hidden beam, or we'll have a hidden beam over here, or we'll have a plinth beam over here, whatever is the case, we'll have a support there. So this zone comparatively will not control much tension compared to the mid portion. Okay, in this complete flight will be suspended by this portion and this portion, right? So the tension will come over here in this zone. Okay, so tension will be here. Let me just control set that and just type it a bit closer. Okay, so tension zone will come over here in the flight of the staircase. But when it comes to the support part, in support part, what happens? The support part over here, the tension zones will be over here. Okay, so the tension zone will, one tension zone will be here, and the other tension zone will be in this direction. Okay, now I'm just showing it like this, but what really happens is, if for example, if I have a hidden beam somewhere over here, if you remember the last class, right, in our two-way slab when I was discussing about sunken slab, if you watch that video, in that video I have attached the site video of the staircase also. Okay, that was a slabless staircase, and that I have shown you how that beam will actually be presented. So whenever the hidden beam is there or whatever beam is there, it is giving additional stiffness to your landing slab. So because of that additional stiffness, what ends up happening is you end up inducing tensions into your zone. So tension will be like this. Please understand this. Okay, so tension zone will be something like this. So we provide the reinforcement on top. All right, so please keep this in mind that whenever I'm talking about the reinforcement, right, so how does the reinforcement behave in the staircase region generally is, if I have a bottom rebar going here, okay, bottom rebar going here, the bottom rebar will go all the way to the top over here. Okay, this is very important. Just zoom in a bit more. So tension is there at the bottom, so I'm providing the bottom reinforcement as my main bar, and because tension is there at the top, the bottom rebar which was there, the main reinforcement, is going to go and get converted here like this. Okay, the same is going to be true for this part also. The reinforcement is going, the bottom reinforcement is going to come over here, and then it is going to get converted like this. Okay, it won't go completely to the end, it will go somewhere over here like this. And this generally, this reinforcement, what happens, it comes and continues here like this, continuously to be there. And if the tensions are quite high, if you just refer to this drawing, see, based on bending moment consideration, if the bending moment is more, we have to provide additional amount of reinforcement over here. So that additional amount of reinforcement will look something like this. So we'll have a reinforcement over there followed by another layer like this. Okay, now as I was saying, tension is there in the max here, so we provide the tension zone over here. So we have main reinforcement over here. At the top we don't have any reinforcement, so nearly at 1/3 the distance, that is basically 1/3 distance. If I can just make it green, for example, so at 1/3 distance, what we do, we terminate the rebars. Okay, if the bending moments are quite high, we provide this reinforcement. If the bending moments are not high, we don't provide it. Now one more thing to keep in mind is about the distribution bars. So distribution bars will be something like this. Okay, the main bar is there, on top of the main bar all the distribution bars will be present like this. Okay, and this distribution bars, when it comes over here, they will come and support the main bar from underneath. Okay, just the way it used to happen for the slabs, right? Same thing happens over here, right? So if you see here, distribution bars will come on the inner side. So the whatever is seeing in yellow, those are main bars, and whatever is seeing in green, those are distribution bars. Now in some cases, what happens, because of additional demand of reinforcement or movements or something from the clients generally, or the contractors, could be any one of these people, we end up providing additional bars also. Okay, these bars are very rare, but we end up providing these bars, and the spacing between these bars is also filled by the distribution bars. All right, so generally in some rare cases we have done that, not in all cases we have done this, but generally this is what your staircase reinforcement will be like this. So bottom bar will come and become the top bar, and the bottom bar will come here and become the top bar over here. All right, here if it is requirement, we provide additional amount of reinforcement. All right, and if we have a plinth beam, basically all these bars will come over here. For example, if this is going to be my plinth beam, you can just make it brown or something. Let me just keep it black. Okay, so if there is no landing as such and there is a plinth beam, the bars will just come and terminate over here directly. Whatever the bars are there, they just terminate over here like this. Okay, so we'll discuss about all of these cases, and there are a couple of videos that I have that I want to share it to you. You can just watch those videos and understand how the detailings are carried out on the site in a much better direction, in a much better sense. Sorry. So I'll take you to AutoCAD now. if I take it to AutoCAD, you can see here what I have done is I have created this drawing for you. Okay, if you come and refer these two, right? Initially our staircase was like this, but the final staircase we ended up was with this. All right, so but we have done the work, so I have got both the staircase with both the staircase at my end. Okay, and we'll use one staircase. Okay, the one which you have followed through, that is basically this staircase. We'll follow this staircase and I'll show you how the detailing is carried out. All right, anyway, this file will be provided to you. All right, so don't worry about it. So I'll just select all of this. I'll control C, control V it. I'll bring it all the way over here. For my reference, I'm bringing it all the way over here and keeping it because our assignments are there. I don't want all the lines to come and join the assignments over there because streaming will be a headache. All right, so as I was saying, I want to show the detailing of this particular portion, this particular staircase. So I'll just come over here, copy this staircase from here, control C, control V it. Okay, take it all the way over here and place it over here. For our reference, we'll keep it quite close. Okay, then very quickly what I'll do, I'll just draw a line on the top and I'll just draw one more line over here. Okay, let me just make sure that we have done it properly to the edge part like this. Okay, then I'll just come here, select this, go for match properties and just match the properties. Now because I have imported this thing, a lot of new layers you can see here, a lot of new layers will be there definitely. Along with that, we have got structural staircase layer and structural staircase steel layer, rebar basically. Okay, so those two extra layers are there and we have discussed already how to create this layer, so I'm not going to go into it again. Okay, so how do you start working on a staircase is basically you copy the plan, whatever the staircase is there, you just copy that entire staircase from here and place it over here. After you are done placing it, you're supposed to start marking the staircase and everything. Okay, so that's the same thing that they have done over here. First count the number of steps. Okay, so you have to be careful how many number of steps we have. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19. We have 19 steps almost. Okay, so how do I start drawing this? So we have to go for the Excel command. Excel, go for vertical command, and I have to mark three things first. Okay, what are those three things? I have to mark the start of my staircase, then I have to mark the start of my mid landing beam and the end of my mid landing beam. Now after the mid landing beam, if you have a concealed beam or hidden beam, you have to show that as well. Okay, in the video that I will attach, you can see the hidden beam over there. Okay, so I have to mark three things first. One is what? One is my starting of my staircase, starting of my mid landing, ending of my mid landing. After that, if you have any plinth beam coming in the back end, definitely mark the plinth beam as well. So once you have done marking with that, you can go back into the Excel command. Let me just change the color so that we can properly see it going forward. Let me just select all this. Okay, and let me just change the color for time being. Let me just change the color. Okay, come here. Let's make it current because anyhow we'll delete all these lines anyway. So don't worry about it. So go for Excel, go for vertical again. Now if you see here, width is 3 feet 3 inches. That is, this width is 3 feet 3 inches. Thread is 9 feet 12 inches and rise 6.5 inches. Okay, and the soft thick in the sense the waist slab is almost 6 inches thick. Now generally what happens, we keep it to 10 inches and almost 6 inches. Okay, 150 mm is the riser and almost 10 inches in the sense we have got our good thread for us. Okay, now what you can do is you can either draw one of these and start taking offset command, or what you can do, just go and mark it like this properly. Okay, some amount of minimal amount of adjustment will be done here or there to get the entire staircase to fit in this portion. So I don't want to go for the offset command and everything. I'll just use the Excel command and just mark all my lines here. Okay, this will make sure I'm not making any mistake. Okay, so once you have marked all these lines, just come back over here. We'll go for staircase marking again and we'll make this as a current layer. So once you have done that, what I'll do is I'll just mark a random line like this for my reference. Now if you come to SP34, what is happening for the very first step? This is the very first step that we are seeing. We're not seeing the landing, we're seeing the very first step. No, so to get to that step, we need a what? We need a riser. Okay, to get to the very first step, we need a riser. So if you come to the plan also, this is my very first step, right? So basically this is my very first step. To get to the step, what I need a 6-inch riser. So I'll come over here and I'll come for the line command. I'll just come over here. If you want to give 6.5 and be very accurate with it, you can just give 6.5 or you can give 6 inches. Okay, once that is done, I'll come to this part and I'll just connect it over here. Same, I'll go over here, make it 6 inches over here and I'll connect it over here. Now instead of just doing it over and over again, what you can do is you can just copy it from here. Okay, just make sure you go from edge to edge. Okay, from this edge to this edge. Then again you can just keep repeating it until you reach the mid landing portion. Okay, again as soon as you reach the mid landing portion, we cannot just pull the whole thing over here. This is another mistake that students generally make. Okay, to get to the mid landing, again what I'll need a 6-inch tall riser, and then I can go and join the mid landing portion. Just come and refer SP34 again. In SP34 also, see, as soon as we touch this point, we're not pulling it completely straight, no. We have to give another 6-inch riser, and then we're coming and joining the mid landing beam. You cannot have a thread and just continue with the thread. You need to have a riser, and from that riser you'll reach the mid landing portion or the final level portion, whatever that portion is, you'll reach that. So please make sure that whenever you're starting the staircase, give a riser. When you're ending the staircase, give a riser and then end it. So once that is done, you can just select all of them, give it delete or control Z that, select all of them and keep it to the side. If in case you make a mistake, you don't have to send draw again all this. You can just pull them back in. So just keep it in the corner for time being. So once that is done, I'll come back over here. I'll come back and I'll just draw a line like this. Once the line is done, I'll go for the extend command and I'll just extend it to the end. Once the extension is done, I'll just select this. I'll go for the offset command. I'll give 6-inch offset and get my waist slab. Okay, now because we have mentioned 6-inch offset, I'm taking 6-inch offset over here and taking the waist slab. If it was 7-inch, I have to give 7-inch. It was 5-inch, I have to give 5-inch. All right. So after doing that, I'll just select this. I'll go for the offset command, 6-inch. I'll come and give the offset at the bottom. And what I'll do, I'll go for the trim command now. And I'll just trim this portion and I'll trim this portion. In no way, shape or form, I'm going to touch this particular line. If you come and see here in the drawing also, this line I have kept it like this. I have not changed this line whatsoever. Okay, so I'll just keep the line like that. And we have got this portion. Now when it comes to this portion, if it was a normal landing, okay, we had a normal landing, we could have just continued straight like this. Whatever reinforcement there was there, you can have just given that reinforcement over here. But that is not the case here. Because I'm drawing this, if I can take you back to the plan at hand. So this is my plan, this is my plinth beam, right? Plinth beam, whatever level is it, this is a plinth beam level. So you can just come and refer the plinth beam drawing, and we have a beam over here. Okay, so this is my staircase, this is my left portion. I have got a beam over there. So for that beam, how will I draw that beam? If you just come and refer this, the moment my staircase ends, the beam part starts. Okay, so whatever line I have given here, no. So from this very line, what I'll do is I'll mark 12 inches like this. Then I'll go forward until this staircase, until this step. Okay, I'll just go forward there. It's actually 9 inches, but on side you can just make the tiny adjustment, no problem. Okay, just go till there. Let me just control Z that. We will draw 12 inches. Okay, then whatever this line is there, try to get that line and just try to draw it like this. Okay, once you have done, I'll go for the trim command again and I'll get rid of this portion and I'll get rid of this particular portion for myself. Okay, now because our drawing is such that right underneath the staircase you have plinth beam, we're getting a plinth beam like this. What if we had plinth beam after a 3 feet distance so from the this one staircase, you can give that. So in that case, you have to come over here, you have to give offset of 6 inches almost. Okay, you have to give the offset, and then what happens from here, you have to go 9 inches to get your plinth beam. Then from here we'll go 12 inches and just accordingly you will draw it. Okay, yeah, something like this it will come. Okay, but we have the plinth beam right over here, so we have to keep that in mind and draw it like this. All right, so before you start touching your reinforcement rebars, whatever that is, you have to first create a shape. So I have explained to you how to create the shape, no matter what kind of staircase you have. Even if the staircase was the original one that we had planned to give, where is that drawing? Yeah, here. Okay, even in that condition, whatever staircase was there, you just copy it and you just give all these lines and everything from here, and you'll get entire staircase. Once you're done with the staircase, the top portion again you will repeat the same steps and get the top part. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. All right, so coming back over here, I have kept all these lines separately. We can delete them if you want later. So once that is done, I'll come over here. I'll come to my structural cases and make this as current. Now, once my shape is done, my rebar has to, we have to start drawing the rebars. Now, if you remember the paint part, what did I say? Whatever this reinforcement is there, it goes and connects to the top, right? So let me just first draw that particular rebar. So I'll come over here, I'll select this, I'll give an offset of 1 inch. Okay, in the inside we'll give offset of 1 inch, and here we'll give offset of 1 inch from here. We'll draw it like this. And once those two are drawn, you can go for the extend command and extend it to that part. Okay, once the extension is done, you can hold the shift button and start getting rid of these lines. Okay, again, I'm not touching this top line, I'm keeping it same. Now what I have to do is I can just select this, and just come and assign to that layer. So the bottom main rebar, they just bend up to the top and come over here. Now the same thing I have to do here also. So I'll take offset of 1 inch like this, and I'll take offset of 1 inch like this. I'll come back into the extend command and I'll just go and draw it like this. Once the drawing is done, hold the shift option and get rid of the any excess lines. Okay, so I'll just select this portion, I'll select this portion, I'll just go back to the layer and change the layer as such. You can even do the match properties. So you can see we have got a crisscross pattern over here. the same pattern that you can see in SP34. Crisscross pattern is there. You can see the same thing in SP34 and the drawing that I had drawn over here. All right. So you have to keep that one particular thing in mind. So once you have done with this, we come to the bottom portion. Now in the bottom portion, what ends up happening is whatever additional amount of reinforcement is there, we have to take care of it. All right. So I'll just come over here. We'll just refer the drawing here so that you can understand what is happening. Again, I'm not drawing this additional rebar yet. We'll come to the additional rebar in a second. But now I want to get rid of this bottom portion. All right. So what is happening here is, if you just see, we have extra rebar over here. No, this extra rebar, what's happening? It is immediately ending into the beam. Okay. So how will that look? So this extra rebar that is there, if I come over here, I'll take an offset of about 2 inches, almost 50 mm. We take an offset, and what will I do is I'll just select this, just match the properties. You can do this also, right? Just match the properties here like this. Once the properties are matched, you go for the extend command, ex double enter, and just join them like this. Hold shift and get rid of this line. So this portion will come like this. Once that is done, I'll come over here. I'll take an offset of again 2 inches and the inside portion of it, and I'll take this rebar, the main rebar which is there now, the main rebar will come in and over here like this. Okay, so the main rebar which we have, I'll go back into the extend command. Just watch this class 1 to 2 times, because once you have some clarity on it, you will be able to do this. Okay, just delete this, select this option and go for match properties and match this. So we have got one more crisscross over here. This is basically what it's supposed to do. Now in some cases what ends up happening is we have to provide some additional amount of rebar. Okay, because on the bending moment criteria, whatever the criteria is there, based on that criteria you have to provide additional amount of rebar. So how will that additional amount of rebar look? So I can just come over here, just select offset. I'll give 1 more inch of offset and I will get this additional line like this. Okay, and this additional line, I'll just take offset over here, offset of 1 inch. Okay, it lands somewhere in the inside portion. So go for extend command very quickly and just draw it and then hold shift and get rid of it. So this extend portion, if you see, this is the additional amount of rebar that we are providing, the main reinforcement. Okay, so once that is done, now here I don't need that, right? So I'll go for trim command and just trim it from here to avoid confusion. Okay, now what ends up happening is from here also, if I go for offset, I'll take 1 inch offset. We get 1 inch from here, we get 1 inch from here, and I'll go for the extend command. Okay, I'll go for the extend command like this, extend command like this, hold the shift and get rid of it. So what ends up happening, we provide additional 1 more layer. Now if you remember, I told you at 1/3 distance we are supposed to terminate a lot of bars, right? So how do we terminate those bars? Just come and count them. So 1 2 3 4, draw a line, turn off the ortho and just draw a line for your reference like this. Once that line is drawn, select this, copy it, and from the bottom just type 1 2 3 4 and just place it over here. Okay, once that is placed, you can start deleting the rebar. So go for trim command and start trimming all these excess lines. Okay, because the additional bar were provided over here, no? So there is no need for me to provide additional rebars over here. The same thing holds true in the top mid portion. In the top mid portion, the tension is in the bottom zone. So here providing additional rebars makes no sense. Okay, and we have to remove this line also. This line. Okay, so second layer of additional reinforcement is provided over here, and it is provided over here. These 2 bars. Okay, if in case you delete them also, doesn't matter. Many drawings are there where this is also holds good, and in some drawings you can see that this additional rebar also is not provided. Okay, the drawing will look something just like this. All right, so just keep this in mind. Okay, there are layers to your staircase drawing also. All right, so based on the bending moment requirement, you can do this, or based on the requirement of the client. Sometimes contractor also, they'll be like, no sir, this is how we want the drawing to be, please provide us a drawing with extra rebars being provided in the staircase region. So you have to provide it from your end. Okay, so please watch this class 2 to 3 times and you will get a good handle of how to draw this particular staircase. First you have to draw the shape of the shape of the staircase. Once the shape is done, you will draw the mid landing, whatever the reinforcement is required, take that and you go to the mid landing portion and you terminate the bar over here. So the bottom rebar becomes a top rebar, followed by you go for this and you repeat those steps again. Okay, whatever the offset is, you take offset from here, you take offset from here, and you create a rebar like that. So we get a crisscross arrangement on top. When it comes to the bottom portion, the bar will just come and terminate over here. Okay, based on the bending moment requirement, you can have 1 more additional rebar like this that is going to come and terminate like this. Directly it will just come and settle inside. All right, now this is what is done in 99.9% of the cases. In some rare cases, what ends up happening is because of heavier moments, we end up providing additional rebars like this. Where do we do this? In commercial projects. In commercial projects where a lot of people are moving around and everything, in those projects, generally we provide one more layer of reinforcement like this. Okay, so once you have done all of that, all you have to do is just come and select any two lines like this, any two rebars like this, copy them from here, bring them all the way to here, and just place them. These are my distribution bars. Okay, if you can turn on the ortho, and you can just place them like this one at a time. Okay, once that is done, I'll just copy it from here. I'll take it down, place it, and just make sure you have arranged this properly. And for that, turn off the ortho, just take and place it over here. Then copy this, copy it again. We'll take it from here and place it somewhere over here. Then you can copy these two. See, you can easily use the path array and you can do the same thing. Okay, it's totally up to you. If you're comfortable with path array, use the path array option. If you're not comfortable with path array, you can just do the copy paste like this, the way I'm doing. Okay, just have to be a bit more patient. If you want, you can just zoom in and you can just place it like this one at a time. Okay, so what I'm showing the distribution bars. So distribution bars are gonna go straight inside. They will not be circles like this. Okay, I'll show you the videos. Once we discuss the videos, your concept will be much more clearer than it is right now. So just come and drop them all the way over here, someplace like this. And once that is done, we have to draw the bars for this portion also. Just copy them from here and very quickly, just you can come and place them, right? So you can just place them like this. Okay. Again, you're more than welcome to use the array command and do this very quickly. I'm doing it a bit slowly here like this. Okay, something like this. And once this drawing is done, what you have to do, you have to just come and copy these things. So whatever these values are there, you just come and copy those values and just come and paste those values. Okay, just come and copy those values from here in the rebar portion and just come and place in the rebar portion like this. Okay, if you just want to arrange this a little bit, you can select and arrange it over here. Okay, so it's going to be distribution bar is going to be provided. 8 mm distribution bar at 6 inches center to center is going, what you are going to provide. Same thing you have to do for the main reinforcement also. Whatever the main reinforcement is there, you can just copy it from here. Again, if you want to take the circles, you can take the circles, or you can just come in directly place it like this. Okay, and then just you can go inside and make this arrangement properly so that it's marking the exact layers that I wanted to mark. Okay, we have done all of this a lot of times, right? For beam also we have done, for column also we have done, for slabs we have done this. So I'm not going to repeat how to create all this. You should know how to create all this by now. You just have to type it out. Then we have a line command. You can just use the line commands and draw these lines like this. If you want to use the leader command, we have explained how to use the leader command already. You can use the leader command and show it like this. Okay, so it all depends upon the way you want to show the drawing. So I hope you have understood the basic understanding that the bottom rebar becomes the top rebar and this bottom rebar becomes the top rebar over here. And if you have a plinth beam, all the bars will come and terminate immediately over here. If you don't have a plinth beam, we have some landing going on for us. So these bars will come and they move forward like the way they have done over here. Okay, they just come here, they just move forward to whatever the distance is there, and then they terminate into the concealed beam or the plinth beam or the main beam, whatever the beam is there, it goes and conceals over there. Okay, so if you see here, the same thing is happening. The bottom rebar is there, it becomes a top rebar over here. Then this bottom rebar is there, it becomes the top rebar over here. Extra bar they have provided does not require as such. So this bottom rebar is going to continue completely straight like this. Okay, then whatever this bar is there, this top bar is there, this top bar will become the bottom rebar like this. So this is what they have done over here. So again, we have a crisscrossing over here being shown. Okay, all right. So please keep this in mind. Generally, this portion you can completely omit. Okay, even this portion in the top part you can completely omit. Along with their whatever distribution bars they have shown, along with that you can omit that part. Okay, so I'll show you the video clips now and get a better understanding from that. So whatever steps I have taken for this half flight, the same steps you have to take for the top flight also. You just mark the portions. Excel command you'll use to start marking the portions, and what you'll do, you'll mark the ending of the staircase, the ending of your landing, the start of your landing, and the whatever the concealed beam is at that portion you'll mark. So 4 lines you'll mark, and after marking those 4 lines, you have just go the staircase part. Once the staircase part is done, you will start taking the offset. Right, first you'll mark this line. After this line is marked, you will take 1 inch offset from here, 1 inch offset from there. Again, the 1/3 distance, you just terminate all the top bars, and whatever the reinforcement you have to provide, you have to provide the reinforcement. bottoms become top, this bottom becomes this top. Okay, this bottom will continue completely stay clear. Then we'll have a top bar over here that will become the bottom bar over here, like this. Okay, whatever this reinforcement is there, it is extra reinforcement. All right, now I'll take you to the drawings that we have done over here. So if you see here, the very first thing that they do is they use the leveler, right? Bubble tube. They use a bubble tube and they start marking the straight lines and everything. From where do they mark the straight lines? From the this part, from this portion. This is what the portion is. This is the very first grid line. So from the very first grid line, they'll go and see whatever the distance that the staircase starts. From this point, they'll mark the distance and they will take it. Now I was talking about the crisscross lines as well, right? So you can see here the crisscross lines will look like this. Okay, whatever we have done in AutoCAD, basically, let me just delete all these lines that are distracting. We'll just delete these lines. So whatever we have done over here, yeah, well, let me just delete this. Okay, whatever we have done crisscross, the same crisscross thing you can see over here. So the bottom rebar becomes a top bar, and the bottom bar from here, you can see the bottom bar comes from there and becomes the top bar over here. And the same is holding good for the distribution bars also. Distribution bars are being provided in the bottom zone. Okay, bottom zone, the distribution bars are providing. Here you can see the top zone distribution bars are provided. So the moment the bar bends and comes over here, the distribution bars will come here. Now if you see in the AutoCAD, they look like circles, but they're not circles on site. How they are represented? They are represented like this. They are proper bars that are going in this direction. Okay, so you can see here that is what is happening over here. The distribution bars are on the inside portion. Okay, so let me just close this. I'll take you back to some more photos. So what happens basically is they'll start marking the staircase like this first. So whatever marking I have done here, no, all I'm taking Excel and everything, the same thing they are doing over here. They're just marking all the lines first to get a proper reference, and once they have got all that reference, so you can see they go all the way to the top. Okay, again this is one of the project that we had executed. So you get some staircase that looks like this. Okay, I'll show you this particular staircase only. I'll show you. So you can see this is the very first grid line. So from this grid line they have gone to a distance from where the staircase will start. This is the mark. So from here, if you see here at a height, what is happening, we have a landing. Okay, after the landing, the one single staircase will be stretched all the way to the top. So they have marked that landing height, and after marking that landing height, from that landing height, what they have done, they have marked all these other things. And the way we had marked our 6-inch waist slab, they have also marked the 6-inch waist slab. Okay, so you can see here, this is something that they have done on the site. Okay, see, the only reason why I'm showing you all these photos and videos for staircase portion and slab portion is because it's very easy to get confused. Okay, visualization is important for you to be able to create proper drawings for your site execution. All right, beams, columns, many of you would have seen, many of you would have known how the beam and column detailing looks. Okay, but the same is not true for slab detailing and the staircase part detailing. Okay, maybe when I create the lapping videos for beam and column, I'll try to attach videos for beam and column arrangement also on site. That way, if any of you have never been to site, have never seen those drawings being executed, you can actually see how the drawings get executed. Okay, so please remind me if I forget about those drawings. I'll try to add them from my end. So coming over here now, so you have seen this video, right? You have seen this video, right? Now I'll just show you the next video. Now here what is happening, just have a look first. You can see the purple line over there. So with reference to that line, they have marked their landing. From this landing is what the reinforcement is going on top. Okay, so we'll just turn the angle for a second and you can see here. This is the entire staircase. Now one question might come to you that, sir, we have already given 2 to 3 feet worth of depth over here. Okay, with such a large depth, why have we not given any side face reinforcement? The simple answer to that is the main beam is over here. Okay, it's basically a hidden beam. So we have seen we have given 2 bars here, 2 bars over there. So this is basically a hidden beam. Whatever this extra bar that we are giving, that is we are giving only because we have to support the hidden beam somewhere. Okay, to support the hidden beam, we are giving all these ties, and the bottom we have given the again some additional amount of reinforcement. Okay, if this was a load bearing beam, okay, the beam which is actually subjected to wall loads and everything, then definitely we have to give the side face reinforcement because the depth is more than 750 mm. Okay, but as this is not a load bearing beam but just a top hidden beam that is being supported by the bars on the bottom, we have not given any side face reinforcement. Okay, if you want to give, you can give, just spend some extra money, that's it. It is not going to enhance the strength of your beam as such. Okay, so if you see here, 2 on the top, 2 in the bottom, they have given LDs and everything. In the bottom also you can see they have given LD and everything properly over here, and they have got 4 bars on the bottom, 4 bars on the top. And if you see here, they have just given a mat like this. Okay, I was telling you about the crisscrossing, right? Here they have not done any crisscrossing. Why? Because only 2 or 3 steps are coming. So 2 steps will come, and the main bar will come and become the main bar over here. Whatever the bar is there, the bar will be there. Then the distribution bar is going to remain the distribution bar over here. For this, a small portion, hardly 2 or 3 steps were there over here. So this is how it looks. Okay. Now we just move a bit front. You can see here what is happening here. Whatever the bars are there, it is going and terminating inside. That is what I have shown over here. This bar is there, right? Whatever the bars are there, they're just terminating into the plinth beam area. Okay, here nearly 2 feet worth of 1.5 or 2 feet worth of concreting will be done on top of this. All right, so whatever the bars are there, they are just provided the bars, they just terminate inside, and they create a hook such a way that it will hold the entire staircase in position like this. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you an idea of how different type of staircase can look. Okay, so this is one where what happens, the whatever the reinforcement is there, just coming and terminating over here. All right, and we have just given the bottom mesh with the distribution bar. Even this bar is not provided in that particular representation, right? So please keep that in mind. All right, that we have done. Why? Because it's a very small space where 2 or 3 steps worth of height is there, so they are providing additional one more mat. Doesn't make sense. Okay, so you can just see how it looks. So we have a hidden beam over here, and all these bars are coming and terminating over here. All right, and if you see here again we have a mesh. We have just a bottom mesh and top mesh is missing. What do I mean by top mesh? If you just see here, this mesh, this part. Okay, this part is missing. Why? Same reason, that bending moment, that heavy amount of bending moment was not required over there. What is basically happening here is, if you see this entire region is being supported by walls, brick walls in the back end also, and this region as well. So this entire region is support part, followed by a beam. So a lot of support is there, and all the tension which is there, it is going to be taken by the beams which will support the bottom part. So keeping all those side criteria in mind, we decided not to give in top mesh. If you were giving top mesh, those both meshes will be distributed by what? A chair. A chair will be placed between the bottom mesh and the top mesh. Okay, please keep that in mind. So the way you execute the staircase also will depend upon many criteria, like the kind of support you have, if you're giving brick wall support or not, if you have a beam or not. Okay, what kind of landing do you have? It depends upon all these factors. All right. So in the execution that I'm showing you, what are missing? In the execution that I'm showing you, this bar, all of them are missing. Okay, even then it is not a wrong staircase to be drawn because of the kind of site conditions we have. Okay, my job is to give you all type of drawings that are being executed on site, right? So I'm giving you all this information from my end. Okay, by giving you all this extra reinforcement that is being shown. So coming back over here, you can see here we have a mat. Again, this is the whatever you're seeing, right? This is the main rebar. This rebar is the main rebar, and this is the distribution bar. On top of a distribution bar is there. Okay, and then this it is going like this. Okay, underneath we'll have a wall support for this. Okay, so some more attention will be taken care of it, get taken care of by the brick wall. So let me close this. I'll take you back. Now what will the same staircase is there, right? So the same staircase, you can see what is being done over here. Okay, and you can see some additional amount of reinforcement is given from this side and this side from our side. Just to be on the safer side, we have given some additional amount of reinforcement. Okay, we just climb up top, and the moment we climb up top, you can see we have got a chair. All right, so let me just play the video, and you can see. So we have a top mesh, we have a bottom mesh, and we have a chair separating the top and bottom mesh. Okay, and what is happening here, the way I have shown this in the drawing, okay, this is my distribution bar and this is my main bar, right? The same thing is happening over here. Okay, the same thing is happening over here, where in which you can see that this is my 8 mm dia distribution bar, this is my 10 mm dia main bar. Okay, the staircase portion, and all of these are chairs that are separating the bottom mesh and top mesh. All right, let me just go up at top, and here you can see what is happening. All this so all these top bars are becoming bottom bars there. Okay, and all this top bars are becoming bottom bars over here. So whatever was in the bottom, it will go from the bottom, it will go to the top, and what is at the top, it will come and become the bottom over here like this. Okay, so this crisscrossing is always going to be there. So in this particular staircase, what are you not noticing? You're not noticing this additional amount of reinforcement that we are giving here. This reinforcement you're not seeing. Okay, so that is where the thing is. So when you come up top, we have all the reinforcement and everything over there. So please keep this in mind. I hope the concept is clear to you much more than it was before. Okay, you are more than welcome to provide this additional reinforcement. I have one more video from different site of ours, and here what happens, I'll give the volume. Okay, I'll give the volume, and the end I'll attach the video. You can watch the video. So let me just move forward. I'm talking about the main and secondary bars over there. What I want to show you mainly is not this part, but this part. See, if you see here, you can see additional meshes there, and those two meshes are separated by what? A chair. So in this particular staircase, right? So let me just see if I can just see it properly. Just a second. Yeah. So if you see here, what is happening here? We don't have any plinth beam, right? Here we don't have any. We have not even dug inside. What are we doing? We are going to create a 6-inch slab over here with all this reinforcement, and we're just going to keep the reinforcement inside. Okay. So there will be a 6-inch worth of RCC concrete being done over here. Okay, to fill up all that space which is there in the bottom, and there you can see a top mesh is there, and we have staircase. So in this particular staircase, what you're seeing this top mesh also, right? You're seeing this top mesh, you're seeing the bottom mesh. What you are not seeing is this additional rebar, which is not required from our end. Okay, so this mesh is there, this mesh is there at the top, this mesh is there, and this mesh is there, and that same thing is happening here. It is going and ending in a support part. Okay, a hidden beam part, it is going to go and end there. Okay, so if I just take the drawing back a bit here, you can definitely see the hidden beam over here, right? So this is basically how it looks. All right, so whether you want to provide some additional amount of reinforcement over here in the form of one bar over here, in the form of one more bar over here, it is totally up to you. But generally 99.9% of the drawings will look something like this. Okay, so we'll have two mesh here, which will terminate 1/3 distance, 1/3 distance. We'll have a main bar over here like this, followed by it going and terminating into a hidden beam or a proper beam, whatever it is. Okay, so I hope you have understood how this drawing is done. Now whatever steps I have shown you, you have to just repeat those steps for this particular part. Okay, again, what have they done here is they have given some additional amount of reinforcement over here. This is additional reinforcement, and this is additional reinforcement. Now this can be done on bending. Say for this, even if you create a bending moment diagram, you won't require this additional reinforcement, right? But it was a request from our contractor. Okay, no, you have to give this reinforcement. You have to give it, so we just give it. Okay, it will not end up creating any kind of issues on your side. If anything, it will make your staircase stronger, if anything. All right, so basically it should look like something like this, but because of their constant uh, request, we ended up giving the additional rebars also. All right, so please make sure whenever there is a slab, the main reinforcement will come over here. Don't give the main reinforcement somewhere on the top, don't do that, and it will come and bend like this. Okay, somewhere over here it will come and bend like this. This is going to be a main rebar, and whatever you're seeing in circles, this is going to be your secondary rebar distribution bar, like this. So please, I'll provide this entire drawing to you. You can refer it, and if we have already done all this, right? You just have to use the dimension tool and start measuring everything and give all this information. And this is the height, whatever the height is there, you have to give that information. Okay, so I won't repeat all those steps again. We have done all of this. We have done this entire thing when we were doing beam. You know how to create this, you know how to create this, right? Same thing goes for this part. We have seen this part in the column, how to create a section view. Okay, in the columns we have just done the section views for our columns, right? So you can see the view, right? So that being said, I hope you have understood how the drawing takes place. Okay, so if in your company, if you're doing this, well and good. If you're providing additional reinforcement, well and good. Just remember how to do it. I have shown you both with the additional reinforcement and without the additional reinforcement. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Don't try to show any rebar for the plinth beams or the hidden beam in this particular drawing. Don't do that. For them, they have to come over here. For example, if this is my plinth beam, right? So plinth beam is P11. They'll come P11. They'll come here. They'll refer it and they'll provide whatever they have to provide. Okay, plinth beam is casted separately, staircase is casted separately. Okay, so don't mix up both of them. Okay, so you have to do this. So at this juncture, I'll wind up this session. In the next class, we will start doing the how to export this drawing. Some more adjustments we have to make here and there. But after making those adjustments, we have to give all this data over here and everything. I'll show you how to do it. I'll give you the entire template itself. You can use the template. If you want to add something, you can add. If you want to remove something, you can remove the template. Okay, you have complete freedom with the template. So I'll give you the template, use the template, and start putting all these elements inside the template and start executing the, start printing the drawings. Okay, so with that, the entire structural detailing part also gets winded up. Alright, so we'll have one final session wherein which I'll show you about the layout part, and then we'll conclude the session I'll try to create the lapping of columns and lapping of beams along with LED and anchorage length later on. Okay, I'll try to find videos for the beam and column part, and if I can add them, I'll definitely add them and I'll put it. All right, so I hope there are no more doubts in your mind. I have shown you a couple of videos. I have shown you one staircase which doesn't have any top mesh at all. One more staircase that has top mesh and bottom mesh like this. All right, so I hope it gives you a better idea now. All right, so with that being said, I'll wind up the class at this juncture. See you guys in the next class. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to the site. So we have the staircase section. Okay, let me just show you how the staircase looks. It looks a normal staircase. We don't have any chains or type of staircase. Normal staircase we have. Okay, for the normal staircase we have a beam over here. Okay, whatever the entire slab is there right here, the slab will completely come over here, all the way over here, and it will find its hook basically here in this particular section. Okay, so if you see here, we have not drilled into the column. So sometimes what people do is they cast the column into this part. Okay, they completely pull the reinforcement from this end to the that end, and then they cast the rest of the column. So even that practice is okay. This practice also is done on the side, where they give the section from here to this point to that point. See, beneath this we have a support from wall also. That's why we have done this. If there is no wall support, then what you can do is just cast the column until this point, then take the reinforcement into the column part also, and then cast the rest of the part. Okay, you can do that practice also, no problem in that. All right, so you can see here, this is the one end, the one end of the staircase. The other end of the staircase is over there. The other part that I wanted you to see was this part. Just sit down here and show it to you. So you can see alternately the bars are cranked. Okay, see, whatever the bottom reinforcement is there, it comes and gets bent to the top part, and whatever the top part is there, it gets bent to the bottom part. See here, I hope you can see it, right? So you can see here we have got two alternate things going on here. Okay, so this is how it looks. The bottom part will become top part over here, and the top part will become the bottom part over here. All right, that's how. I can change the angle a little bit so you can see it much better. Okay, I hope now you can see it much better. Let me just make it a bit smaller. All right, the bottom part, just follow this beam. Okay, just come rebar, this rebar. See, it's coming from the top, it becomes the bottom part over here. Okay, and same thing over here. Okay, this is the bottom part, it comes and becomes the top part. So alternatively this has been done. So whatever is there in the top over there, it comes and becomes bottom, and whatever is at the bottom comes and becomes the top part.